Hi, welcome back to my channel, Amani's Vibe. My name is Amani, and I was laughing because I always take pictures of the screen of the show. And when Amaya was in the hideaway with Brian, I was gonna entitle it like Alice in Wonderland or Amaya in Wonderland. Listen, I can't even talk about that. Amaya is she's a bundle of reality TV joy. She is the person that we needed for this show. She's very happy with Brian. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the show and what went down tonight. I have no notes. I'm just looking at the pictures. What I loved tonight was obviously the producers had to kill time, and they're like, hey, we've got a pro basketball player, we've got another one who plays overseas, we've got time to kill, let's build a basketball court, let's have some guy time, let's have some bromance time. I can see the producers coming up with this idea, but I liked it. I mean, in the past maybe some bombshells would have come, but the show's almost over. But I actually like that idea, and it was good for us as the audience to actually hear the guys talk about what they're going through in their relationships. And the group of people that are there now together, they have a really good bond, like the women and the men. And it's so hard with the fandom because the fans, I was like, okay, when the show's over, let me go on the Instagram page. How bad can it be? And I was like, okay, that's why I've stayed offline. I've stayed off going on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, and kind of like the only way like I'll learn some things because I will, if I'm not doing a think piece, I listen to Chloe Johnson because I love how she retells what's happening in the show. And sometimes I'll hear something that I didn't even think of. So I think that's pretty cool. But as far as going online and reading all the stuff, I've stayed away from it. I'm even wondering if next season, maybe I've said it before, if they could introduce who's going to be on the show the night the show starts so that the audience can't do their private investigation before and we can just enjoy the people on the show. And maybe next season they'll have to turn off the comments. Like maybe that's a thing. Maybe the people who are posting and for the contestants or the Islanders can have their comments off, period. And maybe Love Island can have their comments off. And then that way we can all just watch the show without all the negativity. Now, there's still going to be TikTok and Twitter and all those other things, but I don't know. It's just a suggestion because it's just getting more intense each year. And I remember season two, I feel like in season two, a lot of that intensity was more on Twitter, not so much on the Instagram page. So things have really changed. So it's like, how do we keep a show that I love for the romance? How do we keep it healthy with people getting death threats and threatening families? It's over a show. So I don't know, like I'm just one person, but they say it takes one person to constitute change. So I'm always going to be like promote positivity, um, and just asking people, especially on my channel too, like definitely I'm a positive vibes only person, and to just kind of really think even before you post or, kind of be responsible. I feel like for me, I feel so responsible with the next generation, but it's not just young people that are posting because I did go on there tonight and it's like, it's old people like me. So I was like, I can't read this. So I just came back here. Anyway, just wanted to say that. The other thing is, I'm so glad that Taylor got the guys to do the cheer. It was so cute and I loved it. That was new. That was different. He took into consideration that she was a cheerleader and I loved it. I love and even when they talked before, I really wondered like Clarke with how she was, could she fit into his lifestyle? But you know what? He's still young. He's going to learn about the compromise. Like he just wants her to be a farm girl, but they're going to work it out. Taylor and Bergie, the other Taylor, female Taylor and Bergie, they've had to work it out. Bergie, he went to school to be a physiotherapist, I believe. It's long distance. So these two kind of remind me of their journey because he's going to go to vet school and they're making it work still, okay? So communication, communication. So I love that he got to do that. I love that I got to know a bit more about Taylor. I often don't understand what he's saying, but that's okay. I'm like, what? But it was good to see more of his personality and that he really, really likes Clarke and she really likes him, and it's very genuine, and I love that. I love Amaya and Brian together. That's also cool. I'm not on the Nicolandria train because like I said, I don't understand like who do we want for her, unless, listen, but you know what, I've been wrong before, and maybe Nick knows his ways and how he's been, and he wants somebody like Alondria, right? And they're still in the friendship stage, so we'll see if more romance comes of it. I love that Alondria is cool with Clarke, and that's what I want for the audience. Like, do you see how the Islanders are? They all get along, they work out their stuff, man. Like, so audience, don't be so judgmental. Anyways, Ace and Shelly are growing on me quite a bit more. Huda, I knew right away when Chris was saying she didn't want to kiss him and stuff that it had to do with what happened with Jeremiah. Like, I could tell that right away that Huda is really conscious of what happened. And this has been a strange show, like one where people get booted out because they found somebody they like. It's the strangest show. And now a couple was voted off by America because the audience is upset because Taylor strung Alondria along, but Alondria has forgiven him. But this is what happens in real life. Sometimes you're just not attracted to people, but I guess we're watching it on TV. So I just always wanted Alondria. First, I thought, well, they're not showing us. Like, it's the edits. So then I learned I was wrong. And they weren't showing us, and he wasn't showing Alondria. So I'm glad that she has somebody at least she's comfortable with and can talk to. Hood and Chris, I don't know what's going to happen. But what is good is that Hood is much more self aware. And I love that Amaya is kind of that person that they're talking to, both of them. And Amaya has such a big heart. So I don't know what'll happen. There's a night off of the show, so we won't know till Thursday. But I do hope that Huda can just work on her communication. And I know they do have therapists and people available on this show. I think it's definitely been a lot to be a mother, a young mother, and come on this show. I'm not judgmental about that. Like, it is what it is, but she just has some work to do. So I really hope she can continue to work on just not crashing out and having conversations, because Chris is quite in touch with his feelings. He's quite emotionally intelligent. He's a good-looking guy. He seems the type that will definitely, go do what he has to for his woman. Like, he really seems like he's so introspective too, even about his career. I know people make fun of things, but I kind of like that he's taking it seriously and been like, okay, if I do have to do something else, what would that look like? So I kind of like that about him. Who else is on the show? Pepe and Iris, I'm just like, weren't they just in love with other people? That's all I have to say on that, but okay. Ace and Shelly, I love them. I like to see that Ace is opening up more, being more romantic, giving her kisses and stuff, because he's so like not into that, and he hasn't asked her to be exclusive. I told you that Ace is scared, y'all. He's just scared. He's watching all his friends do it. The other thing I thought to myself is that the show, I feel, was trying so hard to recreate PPG, like what happened with Janae and Serena, and Leah. But instead, they have the men recreated that. It's Nick and Taylor and Ace that have that brotherhood, that bromance. They're the three people that are so close. So I just love that. And again, and that happened naturally. PPG happened naturally. It wasn't something that was planned, you know? So, but it is good to see the friendships and, you know, um, I do feel a bit, I don't want to say I feel sad, but it's too bad that Clarke and Taylor were voted off tonight just based on people being angry about him and Alondria, I think, because they really are going through what you're supposed to on this show. He didn't have a connection, then he found somebody, you know. So yeah, like I feel like if it was me and I had to vote because I can't vote, I probably would have as my couples that are in the finals. I would have had Taylor and Clarke, Shelly and Ace, Amaya and Brian, of course. And then who's left? And then Huda and Chris, I don't know, because they could self implode. So I would those would be kind of my couples. And then would be Nick and Alondria and Iris and Pepe. And then Huda and Chris. But I'm not voting. Those are just my thoughts. And Taylor and Clarke have already been voted off. But I really hope the best for them. I think it might work. Anyways, I'm looking forward to Thursday's show. I really enjoyed tonight's show. I love that cheer. Amaya in the hideaway, it was a trip. And I do like that Huda is becoming more accountable and being more in tune with what she's doing. So those are the things that stood out to me tonight. Anyway, that's it. That's what's up. See y'all after the Thursday show. Don't forget to like and subscribe.